President Trump, I acknowledge your request regarding Nnamdi Kanu. Let me be clear. Nigeria respects its bilateral relationships, but we are not a vassal state. I hear you. And I hear our people, mostly Igbo people. I've spoken with Justice Omotosho. Nnamdi Kanu will be released very soon. Not because America said so, but because it's time for Nigeria to heal. Some will call this weakness. I call it wisdom. We cannot keep fighting ourselves forever. The release is coming. Watch and see.
I am not here tonight to tell you that Nnamdi Kanu is right about everything. I am not here to endorse the breakup of Nigeria. But I am here to tell you something that no Nigerian president has had the courage to say plainly: your grievances are real. Your pain is legitimate, and we have failed you. But let me ask Nigeria this question. What crime is it to demand fairness? What crime is it to ask for infrastructure? What crime is it to want the second Niger bridge that was promised for decades? What crime is it to demand an end to the marginalization that everyone can see? But we all pretend does not exist. Yes, I know some will say Kanu went too far. I know some will point to inflammatory statements, to violence, to the sit-at-home orders that crippled the Southeast economy. I know all of this, but let us be honest about how we got here. Nnamdi Kanu did not create the anger in the Southeast. He simply gave voice to what was already there. If the Nigerian state had been fair, there would...
Now, let me speak directly to my Igbo brothers and sisters. Let me speak to the people of the Southeast. Let me speak to every Biafran who feels forgotten, marginalized, and angry. I know you are listening. I know you have been waiting for this moment. For too long, we have pretended that the wounds of our past do not exist. For too long, we have swept the pain of the Civil War under the carpet and told ourselves that time heals all things. But time does not heal what we refuse to acknowledge. Time does not heal what we refuse to address with truth and courage. Nnamdi Kanu is not just a prisoner. He is a symbol. To some, he is a terrorist. To others, he is a freedom fighter. To millions of Igbo people, he is a voice crying out in the wilderness, a voice saying what many are afraid to say, that something is fundamentally wrong with how we have structured this nation.
If the Nigerian state had been fair, there would be no audience for his message. If the Nigerian state had developed the Southeast the way we develop other regions, young Igbo people would not be so desperate for change. If the Nigerian state had given the Igbo people a sense of belonging, no one would be talking about Biafra in 2025. We created this problem, and now we must fix it. That is why I have decided that Nnamdi Kanu will be released.
Not because President Trump demanded it, though I thank him for his concern. Not because of international pressure, but because keeping him in detention solves nothing. It only makes him a martyr. It only deepens the anger. It only pushes more young people toward extremism. I've spent weeks in consultation with Justice Omotosho, with security agencies, with traditional rulers from the Southeast, and with prominent Igbo leaders across the nation and in the diaspora. The consensus is clear. We must try a different path. The path of dialogue, the path of reconciliation, the path of justice. But let me be very clear about what this release means and what it does not mean. This release does not mean that Nigeria will break apart. I took an oath to defend the unity and territorial integrity of this nation, and I will keep that oath. Nigeria will remain one nation. But it must be one nation where everyone feels they belong. It must be one nation where the Igbo are not treated as second-class citizens. It must be one nation where your children have the same opportunities as children from any other part of Nigeria. This release does not mean that violence is acceptable. The sit-at-home orders must end. The attacks on security personnel must stop. The destruction of property must cease. If we are to build a new Nigeria, we must do it through peaceful means. We must do it through dialogue, not through guns. We must do it through the ballot box, not through bullets. This release does not mean that Nnamdi Kanu can return to Radio Biafra and continue incitement. There will be conditions, there will be expectations. He will be required to commit to peaceful advocacy. He will be required to denounce violence. He will be required to engage constructively with the Nigerian state to address the legitimate grievances of his people. But here is what this release does mean. It means that this administration acknowledges that we have not treated the Southeast fairly. It means that we are ready to have honest conversations about restructuring this country. It means that we are willing to discuss true federalism, resource control, state police, and all the issues that have been swept under the carpet for too long. It means that we are ready to complete the second Niger bridge, not as a favor, but as a right. It means that we are ready to reconstruct the roads in the Southeast. It means that we are ready to invest in the economic future of Igbo land the way we have invested in other parts of Nigeria. It means that we are ready to address the abandonment of Igbo people in the federal civil service, in the military, in positions of power and influence. It means that we are ready to ensure that the principle of federal character is not just written on paper, but is actually practiced. It means that we recognize that the Igbo are an indispensable part of Nigeria. Where would Nigeria be without Igbo entrepreneurship? Where would Nigeria be without Igbo innovation? Where would Nigeria be without Igbo resilience? You are everywhere, doing everything, building businesses, creating jobs, driving our economy. You deserve better than what you have received. To the Biafran agitators, I say this. I understand your pain. I understand your frustration. I understand why some of you have given up on Nigeria. But I am asking you to give us one more chance. Give this administration a chance to prove that Nigeria can work for everyone. Give us a chance to show you that you can achieve your dreams without breaking up the country. I am not asking you to forget Biafra. I am not asking you to stop loving your identity. I am asking you to believe that we can build a Nigeria where being Igbo is celebrated, not punished. Where being from the South is an advantage, not a disadvantage. Where your children can aspire to be anything they want to be without limitation. To those who say this release is a sign of weakness, I say it takes more courage to pursue peace than to pursue war. It takes more strength to seek reconciliation than to seek revenge. It takes more wisdom to address the root causes of conflict than to simply lock people up and pretend the problem has been solved. I have been criticized throughout my political career for being too calculating, too strategic, too willing to compromise. But I have also survived in Nigerian politics for decades because I understand one fundamental truth. You cannot govern successfully through force alone. You must also govern through persuasion, through negotiation, through finding common ground. Nnamdi Kanu's release is not the end of this conversation. It is the beginning. In the coming weeks, I will convene a national conference on the Southeast question. We will bring together Igbo leaders, traditional rulers, intellectuals, business people, youth representatives, and diaspora voices. We will put everything on the table. We will talk about the Civil War and its aftermath. We will talk about marginalization. We will talk about restructuring. We will talk about what it means to be Nigerian in the 21st century. And we will listen, not the pretend listening that governments usually do, where they hear but do not act. Real listening, the kind of listening that leads to policy changes, budget allocations, constitutional amendments if necessary. To my fellow Nigerians from other regions, I ask for your patience and understanding. I know some of you are angry about this decision. I know some of you believe that releasing Kanu sends the wrong message. But I ask you to think about the long-term stability of our country. We cannot keep half the country angry and expect to prosper. We cannot keep fighting internal wars and expect to compete globally. We cannot keep recycling old grudges and expect a new future. The Igbo are our brothers and sisters. Their success is our success. Their prosperity is our prosperity. When the Southeast thrives, all of Nigeria thrives. When Igbo businesses succeed, they create jobs for Nigerians of all ethnicities. When Igbo people feel they belong, they invest in Nigeria rather than always looking to leave. This is not about appeasing one group at the expense of others. This is about justice. This is about finally keeping the promises we made in 1970. This is about building the Nigeria we all claim to want, a Nigeria where no one is marginalized, where everyone has opportunity, where our diversity is our strength rather than our weakness. I know there'll be controversy. I know there'll be criticism. I know some will accuse me of playing politics, of trying to win ego votes, of bowing to pressure. Let them talk. History will judge whether this decision was right or wrong. But I would rather be judged for trying to heal Nigeria than for allowing the wounds to fester. Nnamdi Kanu will be released within the next 2 weeks. The exact date and conditions will be announced after final consultations are completed. But this, I promise you, it will happen. This is not a political trick. This is not a delay tactic. This is a firm commitment from the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. To Nnamdi Kanu himself, I say this: you have been given a second chance. Use it wisely. Use your voice to build, not to destroy. Use your platform to unite, not to divide. Use your influence to channel the legitimate anger of your people toward constructive engagement rather than destructive confrontation. You have the ear of millions. What you say matters. What you do matters. You can be a force for positive change, or you can be a force for continued conflict. The choice is yours. But know this: Nigeria is watching. Your people are watching. History is watching. To every Biafran, every Igbo person, every Southeast resident who has felt abandoned and forgotten, your president has heard you. This administration will not be perfect. We will make mistakes, but we will try. We will make genuine efforts to right the wrongs of the past and build a better future. Nigeria belongs to all of us. It is time we started acting like it. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless Ndigbo. God bless all Nigerians, wherever you are.